The last time we spoke, you know, we were going to Ole Miss and went to Ole Miss, and I was pleased with actually 3 quarters, you know, 11-11 the first quarter, and then scored 23-21 at the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, I think we 20-20. So it was just that second quarter trying to find some consistency on the defensive side and the offensive side. But overall, you know, got rebounded only by a few, which is, you know, they were a lot bigger than us. So I was pleased with a lot of things that we learned from that game. And coming into the Xavier game, I thought we played good at halves, you know, end of the half. First half, I thought we played pretty good in the end of the game, you know, kind of put it together and finished off. Still got a lot of work. You know, we're moving some kids around. You'll see Skylar Goodwin maybe at the point a little bit more. I think she'll be more comfortable, and we will be more comfortable with it, and, you know, moving the guards around. And, you know, Coco Daniels is coming on pretty strong. So I thought we finished that game. Going into the LSU game, they're going to be a lot bigger than us, but we're used to that when we play SEC opponent. We just have to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe press a little bit more, and try to create some turnovers for our offense. But it's a great thing to have them come in here. I think it's the first time that we get them to come here since I've been here 7 years. So we played there only once, so we'd love to keep that home and home. And the way to keep it is get some fans in the stands, you know. It's kind of, we're always at UL, always looking to try to get an LSU team to get here, and we got them. So they show up on Thursday and you know, try to help us to win a game. And then we'll go to Mississippi State on the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, that'll be a tough one. They're playing really well. They're big, bigger than big at 6'8". And so it'll be a challenge, but it'll be 2 big challenges before we start conference and see how we can handle that. Any questions?
What kind of lessons are you hoping to get from the challenges that you're about to face for the next couple of games?
Well, you know, when you play a team that's bigger than you know, you have to do some things to take away things, and that's what we scouted them. Actually, we worked on it today, fronting the post and helping on the backside. You cannot not do it. You know, when you play a team that's smaller, you get away with it sometimes. And I think that's going to be the big thing for us. Can we be consistent at what we do? Can we front the post? Can we help on the backside? I think those will be big things. And also, can we rebound against a bigger team? You know, we're getting better at not turning it over as much. But, you know, every aspect of the game, you know, you want to play a good opponent. And I tell you what, nowadays I think players play harder when they know that they're playing a better opponent. So I think it brings a little bit of energy for you. And if it doesn't, then shame on us, you know. I want to see if we, as a young group, you know, can we have a little bit of energy? You know, we've been led by 2 sophomores, which is pretty difficult, you know, to have 2 sophomores to lead us, both on the offensive and defensive side with, you know, Ty Doucette and Skylar Goodwin. But we need those kids to not only step up and help the freshmen along to be more consistent.
What are you hoping Skylar Goodwin will give you out of the point guard position kind of moving forward?
Well, you know, it's funny how we moved her because we know she can score, and she just hadn't been a consistent scorer for her. So when we decided, you know, we were kind of struggling at running the offense and getting into the offense, and she did a pretty good job for us last year as a facilitator, like facilitating. And so I just kind of said, look, I mean, you're not going to put some shots up because we want her to shoot the ball. We want her to score. If you're not going to do that, then I'm going to move you back to the point. And I could see a big difference. I know for one thing, she knows the offense better than the freshman, and she feels more comfortable. I think it'll kind of calm us down from the turnovers. But it also going to make her look to score more if she wants to get back at that other position. So it's kind of working hand in hand. And I'm seeing it in practice, boy. She's putting up some shots now, so that she wasn't really, her shots wasn't falling. And, you know, this kind of confidence level had kind of dropped off. We're not going to worry about confidence anymore. We want her to score. So I'm hoping that kind of gets her going because we need her. I mean, she's, you know, she needs to be able to score for us to be successful.
In your system, can you make your point a scoring point, a drive to the basket?
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. For 30 years, that's what we do. I love a scoring point guard. You know, that's one of the things that when we recruit, we look for that, and we have some. It's not the scoring part of the point guard for the freshmen. It's the point guard part of it that they're struggling with. And, you know, Skylar's got the point guards, you know, and she can score, you know. I mean, she proved it last year for us as a freshman. So, you know, we'll move her around and, you know, we'll still play those freshmen, but maybe on a limited minutes and get them more comfortable and to get them an idea of how it's supposed to be run with Skylar.
You mentioned it a little bit, but when you play against an LSU team at home with a young group, how do you think that can influence that confidence? Because you played against other SEC teams, but you've had to go to their arena and now they're coming to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always better to play at home, I think, especially against an SEC opponent. It's always been, we've been only lucky twice to be on a road. A couple of years ago, we beat Ole Miss and over there, and then we beat Arkansas in Puerto Rico tournament. So it's difficult to beat them on the road. It really is, and to come home and, hopefully we have a fan base. But our kids, they're a lot of them, were overlooked by some of the SEC schools. So, they got a little chip on their shoulders, like we kind of like to be told that maybe it'll be a tough game or we might not be able to get that win or whatever. It's just kind of our nature. I guess our Cajun nature is to be a fighter, So this is great that I want to see who's going to fight and try to, we've got to try to get a win. We need wins, to going into the conference and need to get better. It's one of our words right now, consistency and better. We got to get better at what we do. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. And I feel that they're going to play really hard. I really do.
How did you get them to come?
Just talking to coaches. We had good relationships with a lot of coaches throughout the country. I've been doing, even though I haven't been only college for a little while, I've made some good connections because they recruited my kids. There's a lot of kids that I played Division I, and a lot of those coaches were coaching at elsewhere. I was able to get LSU to come to McNeese when I was there, and so I took the same approach. Louisiana people like to see LSU at the different venues, and that's the approach I took. And Coach Caldwell, said, "Hey, we'll do it," and so we're hoping to continue it a home and home with them.
What's her status?
She had a stomach virus on Saturday, and she was feeling better, but she didn't have any food down, so they didn't feel that she would be, they didn't want to get her dehydrated, but she practiced today like it was nothing. She looked really good today, so she's back. It wasn't nothing to do with her knee. Her knee's fine. It was just had a little stomach bug, and that's kind of going around.
This is looking well in advance, but when you talk about Mississippi State, a team that's contended for national championships, been in championship games, semifinals, what does a game like that represent? Can that be a measuring stick when you're playing a team with those type of aspirations?
That's what I said this morning. I was on the radio this morning with Stevie, and that was one of the questions. And it is a measuring stick. You're right, to see how you match up with the best in the country, And Vic came in there 7 years ago from A&M and changed it around. And his two first recruits were going to be our recruits. We were just about ready to get some commitments from these two kids, and Vic got the job and swooped them up. And I'm going to be honest with you, they wasn't known as SEC-type players. They were kind of players that overachieved, and they helped them to beat UConn in their senior year. It's just like that kind of kid that had, the grit and all the stuff that you're always looking for. One of them started, and the other one played 20 minutes in that game against UConn, and so, it's fun to see him have success, but also we want to measure our success and how we measure up to them. I think that's a great statement from you, is the fact that that's a great measuring tool. I know a few years ago when they came into the Dome, we had the education game, and, at halftime we were up by 7, and he switched to a zone because he couldn't guard us. And, I remember after the game, he said, "I've never played zone in my life. I had to do it because we couldn't guard your guards." So that was a good, we knew we had good guards at the time, and those 3 good guards really helped us to build a program.